Destroy All Humans is...
Come on, baby, show us what you got.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. You. Bam! You. Ka-cha! Oh! What is he doing? Whoa! Keep running, I like her. I like this guy. There we go.
Greetings, fellow human agricultural engineers. There is nothing going on here. Everything is normal. Carry on with your pathetic human lives. That is all.
Perfectly silly. I would like to start by simply stating, I am a little biased towards this game. I played Destroy All Humans on the original Xbox when I was a kid, so I decided to revisit it as an adult. Destroy All Humans originally released in 2005, right in the middle of my peak childhood gaming hours, and immediately won me over with every fart joke, poop joke, and piece of juvenile nonsense it could throw at me. What surprised me most coming back to the 2020 remake wasn't how much I remembered, it was how many of the jokes flew directly over my tiny little child brain. Like, come on, if you were, like 6, 7 years old and saw this scene, you'd assume that there was a really cool bouncy castle inside or something. As an adult, you realize that's not really what's going on. Now, I want to be as objective as possible with this retrospective. A lot of the humor is incredibly dumb, some of it borders on what we'd now call brain rot.
I think this calls for the jumbo probe.
And yet, I laughed. A lot.
Subliminal TV messages. What'll Majestic think of next?
Search me.
You know what a rhetorical question is?
Not a clue.
Come on.
Despite being an alien invader who's actively trying to wipe out humanity, Crypto is weirdly easy to root for. The game does a fantastic job of making humans look like complete idiots. In fact, it establishes that almost immediately. What are you thinking, miss?
Oh God, I need another Valium. Or 2. No.
Or 2.
Make that 3.
Oh! Yeah, these are the people we're trusting with nuclear weapons.
Now, Crypto, to ensure this invasion runs smoothly, it is imperative we identify the dominant life forms on this world. Those lactating bovoids are likely candidates.
They're the smartest ones, right? The story is pretty simple, but honestly that's all it needs to be. The Furons, a race of clone-based aliens, arrive on Earth looking for one of their own, Cryptosporidium 136. After contact with him is lost, they send in a replacement clone. That's us, Cryptosporidium 137. The problem, however, is that every new clone is slightly worse than the last one before it. Think of it like making a copy of a VHS tape, and if you're too young to know what a VHS tape is, think of like screenshotting a screenshot over and over again until everything starts looking like a blurry mess of pixels. The Furon cloning process has degraded so much that they need fresh genetic material to keep the species going. Unfortunately for humanity, that genetic material is hiding inside our brainstems. So naturally the solution is to invade 1950s nuclear family America. Throw cows into buildings, vaporize human civilization, and harvest as much brain juice as possible. As one does. Once you finish the story, the game opens up into a sandbox mode where you can revisit every map you've completed, hunt down collectibles, and tackle optional challenges. And honestly, this is where child me spent an unhealthy amount of time. The main reward for all this alien tomfoolery is deoxyribonucleic acid, which acts as the game's upgrade currency. If a mission is kicking your ass, you can always head back into the previous area, cause a little property damage, collect some extra brain stems, and return significantly more dangerous than before. And trust me, these upgrades are no joke. Whether you're improving Crypto himself or turning the saucer into a flying war crime, every upgrade feels noticeable. Take the dash ability for example. At first, I thought it was completely useless. Then, I upgraded it. Suddenly, Crypto transformed into an intergalactic skateboarder and started zooming around faster than most enemies' bullets can shoot. The challenge modes themselves are pretty fun too. Across the 6 maps, each area contains 4 different challenge types: Rampage, Armageddon, Abduction, and Race, which are all exactly what they sound like. Rampage has you sprinting through the streets, causing as much destruction as possible. Armageddon puts you in the saucer and tells you to start collecting vehicles like you're the world's angriest tow truck driver. Abduction tasks you with launching specific people, animals, or objects into your tractor beam. And Race, well, you can figure that one out. The challenges do get repetitive after a while, but they serve their purpose. Whenever I got tired of progressing the story, it was nice to spend 20 minutes terrorizing innocent civilians and pretending I was conducting very important scientific research. Now, everything I've talked about so far has been great. Unfortunately, it's time to talk about the stealth missions. Throughout the story, you'll be forced to infiltrate various human gatherings, including a state fair, a backyard barbecue, and as you saw earlier, a mayoral press conference. And these missions absolutely grind the game to a screeching halt. Up until this point, Destroy All Humans is all about causing chaos, throwing people into buildings, and generally behaving like a tiny green war criminal. Then suddenly the game looks at you and says, "Actually, could you please be quiet for a few minutes?" If you get caught or decide to go loud, the mission instantly fails. To help with this, Crypto gets access to something called a holobob, which lets him disguise himself as whatever person he's currently looking at. The catch? It runs on a timer. To recharge it, you have to sneak around and listen to the thoughts of nearby creatures. Yes, people, animals, and even zombie cows. At first, I actually liked these missions. They fit the game's sense of humor and added another layer to the whole alien infiltrating 1950s America fantasy. But as the game went on, they became increasingly repetitive. What started as a fun change of pace eventually turned into a chore by the later missions. I was speedrunning as fast as I could to the next objectives by the later stages. When I started researching this video, I went back and looked at the original 2005 release. And honestly, it looked way better than I remembered. Outside of the updated controls and massive visual overhaul, the remake is surprisingly faithful to the original experience. I mean, just look at this. For its time, it looked pretty good. Today, the graphics are undeniably janky, but somehow the jank became a part of the charm. The remake feels less like a reimagining and more like the version of Destroy All Humans that existed in my childhood memories. Everything is smoother and prettier, and thankfully the best part of the game survived the transition perfectly: psychokinesis. Throwing people into buildings, throwing cows at people, throwing cars at people, the physics engine is still the star of the show. Watching explosions launch ragdolls into orbit and twist them into horrifying spaghetti creatures never stop being funny. So I found that you can hit a person so hard that their hat can fly off, and it made me very happy. It's dumb, it's ridiculous, and it's probably the most fun you'll have with this game. Honestly, this is all just as entertaining now as it was back then. That being said, I don't think I'd spend nearly the amount of hours in Sandbox mode today like I did as a kid. Once the novelty wears off, there's not a ton of reason to come back. The story is fun enough, but the game definitely stretches its runtime with repetitive objectives and challenges. Even so, I finished the campaign in under 5 hours while taking my time, and honestly, I had a great time. Even though the game feels a bit padded, the challenges after the story in Sandbox mode is really where you're going to get your bang for your buck out of this game. It's a short, goofy, chaotic little game about stealing brains and causing property damage, and sometimes that's enough. So with everything I've said in mind, I'm gonna have to give Destroy All Humans a 7 out of 10.